What's going on, y'all? Chris TJ Jones here, feeling untamed and off the chain. Today, I want to talk about something that kept showing up over and over and over again this week. I mean, it was different people, different goals, different backgrounds, different problems, but underneath the entire conversation, underneath all the conversation, it was the exact same issue. And I'm here to tell you, it's not motivation, it's not knowledge. It's not even the opportunities. The issue was trust, specifically self-trust. And here's what I noticed. Most people don't realize that they don't trust themselves. Like they call it something else. They say things like, I need more time, or I need more information, or I need to go back to the drawing board and get a better plan. I need to, think about it more. I got to make sure that everything is right. It's got to be the right way. But if we're being honest, most of the time, what we're really saying is, I don't trust myself. I don't trust myself enough to move yet. And that's what I want to unpack today. Because the life that you're wanting, the business that you want, the marriage that you want, the health, the physical body that you want, might not be waiting on more information. Like it might be waiting on trust. And so if you ever find yourself saying, you know what, I just need a little bit more time. I need to think about it. Go ahead and drop it in the comments. Say I. I am that person. I have said that before. And so the first thing I want to talk about is why smart people stay stuck. Like one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves is I'll start when, or I'll start when I lose the weight. I'll start when I get the certification. I'll start when I have the room built. When I get everything together, this room is where I'm going to do everything at. That's when I'll start. I'll start when I feel more confident. But the problem is every time you create a condition before the action, you delay the trust. And so I had a conversation this week with someone who realized like I want to have a room to write in. Like that's why they weren't writing, because the room wasn't done. But when the room got done, another condition popped up. And then after that one, another one, and then another one. Like, tell me this, have you ever noticed that the condition changes, but the waiting remains? Because the condition was never the issue. It was the trust. And so when you think about it, what's one thing you've been telling yourself that has to happen before you even move? I want you to think about that. Second thing I want to talk about is the GPS problem. Like this week, I kept using a thing that we call the GPS analogy because it's becoming one of the most useful coaching tools like I've ever used. I'm not going to lie. So let's say you pull out your GPS. Everyone's got a GPS on their phone, and you ask it, and it asks, where are you? And you say, yo, I'm on Earth. Technically, that's true. Practically, that's useless. And that's what most people assess their lives on. Like, how's your health? Oh, it could be better. How's your marriage? It's all right. How's your business? Busy. How's your finances? I'm doing some things. I'm working on it. Like those aren't locations, those are just descriptions. And if you don't know exactly where you are, you can't build a route. One of the biggest realizations this week is you cannot navigate what you refuse to locate. Most people want directions. Few people want to be accurate about where they are, their location, because accurate location removes excuses. So, riddle me this. How many of you have ever known where you wanted to go, but you struggled describing where you actually are? And so this kind of leads me to the next point, why awareness isn't enough. Like this is where a lot of personal development gets stuck. Awareness is powerful. Don't get me wrong. It is a powerful thing to have, but awareness isn't execution. Like I know people who are aware of their debt, their weight, they're aware of their habits, their marriage patterns, their time issues, their procrastination, their fears. They know it all. And they've been aware for years. So awareness tells you, what happened. Investigation tells you why it happened. That's a completely different level. And most people stop at, I know I do this. few people sit and ask what keeps creating it. Like that question alone changes everything. And so, if you've ever been aware of the same problem for years, the next level probably isn't more awareness. Like you got to find out, you got to investigate what's going on, what's happening. And so, one of the reasons that people don't move, and I saw this week too, people are waiting for like expertise, people are waiting for confidence, people are waiting for certainty, they're waiting for conditions, they're waiting for understanding, they're waiting for permission. So different stories, same pattern. And here's what I realized. Like most people think confidence creates action. It don't. But confidence is usually a receipt. It's not a prerequisite. Like think about anything you're confident at now, like driving, tying your shoes, maybe even parenting. Maybe you're good at business. Maybe your marriage is on point. Did confidence show up first, or did the confidence show up after enough reps? Like the answer is obvious, I think. Like the reps came first. So why do we expect confidence before action in any other area? Like think about it. One of the things you're confident uh in doing today. Were you confident were you confident when you started, or did confidence show up after you did it a couple times? And so that leads me into the trust sequence. Here's what started to emerge like as the week started going on. It's identity, location, precision, understanding, protection, execution, self-trust. Like most people try to start with execution, but execution isn't the beginning, it's the result. So if identity is unclear, location becomes unclear. If location is unclear, precision disappears. If precision disappears, you can't identify the root cause. And if you don't know the root cause, you won't protect what matters. That's when the drift starts. Then execution collapse. And people wonder why, they're stuck. Like the problem isn't execution. The problem started long before execution. And so a question to ask yourself is not like what do I need to learn? That's not the question. Not at all. Not even what book do I need, or what course do I need to take, or what strategy do I need? These are all like how questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? What you should be asking yourself is what am I waiting on before I trust myself? Because that answer is usually the bottleneck. Like maybe you're waiting on confidence. Maybe you're waiting on certainty. You want to make sure it works out. Maybe you're waiting for the stars to align. I don't know. Maybe it's approval, maybe more information or time or understanding. But if you were really honest with yourself, how long have you been waiting? And what is it costing? So I don't want you to think I don't want you to think like this is just kind of out of nowhere. I want you to think about something real quick. The version of you that has the life that you want, the marriage, the health, the finances, the peace, the business, the consistency, the version of you is not sitting around waiting. That version is not. That version of you is moving, getting active. Not because they have no fear, not because they know everything, not because they're perfectly prepared, stars aligned. It's none of that. It's because they learned something most people never learn. They learned to trust themselves enough to take the next step before they could see the entire staircase. And right around the corner of that trust, promise you, is evidence. Right around the corner of that evidence is confidence. Right around the corner of confidence is a life that once felt impossible, because the life you're wanting isn't usually on the other side of more information. It's not. It's not. It's often on the other side of a decision to trust yourself enough to move. Like this is where execution gets installed, right here. This is where self trust gets built. And if this is where you learn to execute under pressure, catch me on the next one.